Hello everybody, here I am. Been gone for a long while and it's time we start slowly coming back. We've got a bunch of videos coming your way soon. Also, brought back the way OG ponies to my model at some point. Can't remember when exactly. I don't even know if they're finished, but I saw that I added a toggle for them at some point. So I'm gonna treat you to them for this video. I'm gonna keep this intro short so we can hop straight into the video, but hi, yes, I moved again. I'm in a new place, but the internet here might not be as good as previously, so my model might look skippy or rough, don't know. Also, don't know how streams are gonna go in the future for all you stream enjoyers out there, but I'm going to prioritize videos before I get back into streams. I'll test them out when I get an opportunity though. Anywhoosies, today I am doing something different, but I would love to keep doing, and that is reading these wild relationship stories off of Reddit for you guys. I always love your comments, so I am dying to see your reactions. If you like these videos, let me know. If you don't, I guess let me know as well. But let's get into it. Today are some stories from r/relationships and r/relationship advice. Story 1. My 28 male girlfriend, 37 female, has spent the last 3 years telling me that men and women can't be friends. She now has a guy friend. How do I show her that she's being hypocritical? I've been with my girlfriend for 3 years. Our general dynamic is that she's very opinionated and has a very black and white perspective of thinking, especially when it comes to generalizations. Example, men and women can't be friends, whereas I'm a lot more laid back, and I try to pride myself on being objective and seeing the gray area. My entire life, I've been able to connect better with women as opposed to men. Most of my close friends have been women. I've been introduced to many romantic partners or have met some of my exes by associating with these friends, but I've never dated, pursued, or even thought about pursuing any of my actual friends. When I met my girlfriend, I was working in a restaurant and was very close with a few of the servers. We'd go out for drinks, food, hang out alone, and keep in contact outside of work. My girlfriend, being very insecure, absolutely hated this. We would constantly fight about the fact that I had female friends. There was one friend in particular she absolutely could not stand. I'll call her Jess. I cannot even begin to tell you how many god-awful, horrible fights there were over Jess. I was constantly accused by my girlfriend of being in love with Jess, only being with my girlfriend to bide my time until Jess was single. At one point, I was even accused of being the father to Jess's aborted son. I'm not exaggerating when I say that I was constantly harassed and interrogated every single day by my girlfriend about Jess and I's secret relationship. Jess did turn out to be a bad friend, and we stopped talking 2 years ago. Then it was any other friend that my girlfriend didn't like. I still have to listen to my girlfriend rant about Jess and I's secret relationship, by the way. This entire time, I am sent God only knows how many TikToks about how men and women cannot be friends. I am constantly told about men and women she knows in real life cheating and being cheated on with their friends. I'm constantly told if she ever has a guy friend, I should be worried because she's only friends with guys she feels some kind of way about. I don't like the sounds of that. After a solid year of constantly being harassed by a girlfriend about every non-lesbian in my life, we came to a compromise. I will not add any women on Snapchat. I will never hang out alone with another girl. After negotiating from if a girl is there, I shouldn't go. Even though she initially agreed that it's okay for me to add friends and colleagues on Facebook and Instagram, as long as I actually know them, she still stalks my friends list and interrogates me about any new woman that may be on there. At this point, I started working in a more male-dominated field, and while I still have to listen to her speculate and accuse me of being in love with whichever random woman I work a shift with, it's usually just a sly comment and only occasionally a full-blown argument. Only occasionally, my guy? About a year ago, my girlfriend confesses to something sus. The day my grandmother dies, she tells me that she was talking to her ex-situationship. This guy was a real piece of dookie. And when he had reached out to her previously, I gave her my blessing to talk to him and get closure, the only catch being they don't meet up. And she saves all the messages between them because she deleted everyone's messages off her phone. He asked her to meet up with him and S his D. I had to argue with her to block him because she, quote unquote, doesn't like to block people, and she finally relented. So I was obviously upset because why was he unblocked? Her excuse was she unblocked everybody and he messaged her. That's weird, but okay, let me see the messages. She deleted them. Now, I'm pissed and emotional from the fact that my grandmother just died. We get into a fight and I demand she blocks him again. She says she did. The next day, we go back to my place and I've already moved past it until I playfully reach out to grab her phone and she rips it out of my hand. She gives me about 3 bullshit reasons as to why she did that, then finally tell me it's because he didn't block her yet. At this point, I'm furious. I feel betrayed. I feel even more upset because the night before she made another cheating accusation because it was suspicious that I was watching her place a DoorDash order on my phone, and here she is actually doing something sketchy. I ultimately compromise again and get over it. So fast forward to about a few months ago, my girlfriend has settled down quite a bit in regards to the whole cheating thing. I mainly associate with men now. There are women I work with, but we're not close. A seldom few are added into the abyss that I call my Facebook's friends list or my Instagram followers, never to be interacted with. I am still accused of collecting women as backup. My girlfriend starts a new job at a hotel. She immediately connects with her manager, a guy I'll call Jeff. Jeff has a girlfriend, but apparently spends his entire shift pining after my girlfriend and shit-talking his girlfriend. He stays late on her shifts to, quote-unquote, help her. Their friendship progresses from the point of her calling him off the clock to come into work and solve issues at their job to him getting a job at the sister hotel and just going to my girlfriend's job to hang out with her. He calls her when he's bored, but not when he's around his girlfriend because she doesn't want him talking to my girlfriend. He openly admitted to her that he has a crush on her. She doesn't see a problem with this at all. This worries me. And he makes a little list as to why. Girlfriend has a history of cheating. Bro. The call is coming from inside the house. The call is coming from inside the house. The call is coming from inside the house. She cheated on her last partner, but claims it wasn't a real relationship, so it doesn't count, despite the fact that they were both in an exclusive relationship. Oh my god, brother. Oh my god, brother. She also does not want me interacting with this guy at all. I made an effort to introduce her to Jess and any other of my friends. I told her that at any point in time she could talk to Jess about our friendship. Sir, please. I'm still not allowed to have any women as friends in my life. Out of anger and in an attempt to get her to see the hypocrisy, I told her if she has a guy friend and she's going to break the rules we have for friends, then I should be able to have friends that are women. She pretended to agree, but then turned it into, oh, so which girl did you have in mind? And who are you gonna run to? Which then resulted in a fight. Oh my goodness. My brother in Christ. Like, you guys see it too, right? You see it too? Also, I realized that my ponies are not like 100% hitting right. I don't think I finished them. So I'm gonna toggle them back off. Please forgive. Boop. I have no idea how to proceed. I'm considering breaking up with her, but I feel I might be overreacting. I'm worried about being cheated on because our relationship cannot come back from that, but I'm also incredibly upset by the double standard. How can I make her see my point of view that her behavior is hypocritical? TLDR, my girlfriend has spent the last 3 years arguing and fighting with me over any woman that so much as makes eye contact with me because men and women can't be friends. She now has a guy friend that openly admits to his desire to be with my girlfriend, and she doesn't see how she's wrong. Okay, my opinions. To me, it seems really obvious. Like the red flags are incredible. Like I feel the answer has like just written itself, but he doesn't see it. It's amazing how people like they say all these things and like they don't see it. They don't see it. It's right here. Bro, dump her. It's so obvious. If she's not cheating, she definitely has a 100% double standard, and the way that she operates is definitely off of her own guilt. Because trust me, when you are a secure person and you love and trust the person that you're with, you are not going to have a problem with them having friends. It's simple as you don't trust her. This isn't love. Anywhoosies, let's get on to some relevant comments. I don't know why it's taking you this long to consider breaking up with this chick. Just effing break up with her. Good lord. This should be the only advice you need and take in effect immediately. True, bestie. You should have broken up with her in half the time it took to write this post. Reading this, I was thinking, this has projection from a cheater vibes. Yes, exactly. Not some principled stand about opposite sex friendship while in a relationship written all over it. When I got to the part where you said she has a history of cheating on her boyfriend and she has no remorse, not is she apologetic about it. Don't even mention the part where she's texting her ex-boyfriend behind your back and deleting texts. Dude, why are you still with her? It doesn't even sound like this is a good relationship you have. Maybe take her at her word and understand what befriending a new guy who is into her means for her. And see that this is a sign that your relationship has run its natural course and choose when/how to exit on your own terms. This serious cheater afraid of being cheated on vibes. This, exactly this. Doing everything to keep you away from an opportunity to cheat if you were a cheater, whilst not sticking to boundaries she set for you. Stays in contact with her ex while he is sexually propositioned her, deletes all of her messages, is spending an alarming amount of time around someone she knows is into her. She has zero respect for you. True. And your relationship. True. She likely knows what she's doing is bad, but she doesn't care. Walk away. She set boundaries. You respect them. You set boundaries. She violates them. So why are you staying? She is toxic AF. You should break up. This won't end well. If anything, you're underreacting. You've been dating a control freak / abuser. Imagine how much your mental health will improve once you dump her. For the life of me, I cannot understand why you've stuck around this long. She sounds like a shitty human being. So what do you guys think? I definitely think that she doesn't respect the relationship and she's definitely operating off of guilt. And now on to the update. Update. My 28 male girlfriend, 37 female. Whoa, I didn't notice that age gap before. What? Goodness gracious. Anywhoosies. Has spent the last 3 years telling me that men and women can't be friends. She knows a guy friend. How do I show her that she's being hypocritical? That's really weird. So he's almost 30, not quite yet, and she's almost 40. I can understand being that way when you are like a teen or early 20s. But a 40-year-old woman? That's insane, bro. Absolutely not. Run for the hills. All right, on to his post. A few commenters asked me why I stayed with her for so long. The honest truth, I love her. I still love her. And I could ultimately recognize that she was extremely hypocritical, emotionally abusive, and controlling. I never really believed that that was the real her because when I met her, she had started the depot shot and that made her bonkers. Whoa. What? Okay, for context for people who don't know what the depot shot is, that's a form of birth control, and you get it every 3 months, if I remember correctly. I've had the depot shot before. There can be side effects, like weight gain, which is a huge one that usually bothers people the most, and like increased hunger, stuff like that. Don't really recall it causing any sort of like mood swings or changes in personality. I think that's just a bullshit excuse she's probably made up. That's just my 2 cents. As the effects of the shot wore off, she started to mellow out. Maybe I'm wrong? Even though it's still bad, the very slow progress gave me hope, and that's what I held on to. It's very easy to look at my original post and think of only bad things because that's the only thing I shared, but we had so many great moments too. Yes, that's how relationships work. If there weren't any like good aspects of it, like no you would have just left, right? I did end up breaking up with her. With that being said, this is probably going to be a longer post. So if that's all the update you want, then you can stop reading here. After I made this initial post, I read every comment as they came in. Eventually, I end up reading my original post in full and all of the replies. Oh my god. This was of course an issue for her. No Oh my god. First it was, why would you do that? Why would you post our personal business online? Then it turned into, who cares what they think? They're just random people on the internet. We argued every day for about a week. Oh my god, what a storm. I'll be honest, none of the advice really mattered. I didn't follow it, of course. I love her after all, and I believed we could work it out. We talked a lot too. I genuinely believe she had no feelings for Jeff whatsoever. I also believed her when she told me that she told him that they would never be more than friends. Whether I was being gullible or not, the main issue now was with the double standard of her having a close guy friend when women aren't even allowed to look at me without it being a topic of argument later. So I did what I've done the entire relationship, bro. I compromised my feelings and moved on, bro, with the understanding that I would no longer be tolerating any accusations about me being unfaithful or my feelings of love/attraction towards women. Okay, that's better. At that point, we were talking about the argument instead of actually arguing, and we got on the topic of Jess again, my quote-unquote secret relationship and my quote-unquote love for her. I told her that I wasn't going to put up with it anymore. The subject then got changed to a girl I currently work with, Tiff. Tiff has been a subject of many fights between my girlfriend and I. I'm obviously in love with her because I tell my girlfriend that I can't stand her. I reassure her again and tell her that this is the dumbest thing I've heard in my entire life. I am then told that I'm being dismissive of her feelings. I tell her, I told you that I'm not going to tolerate this anymore. If you can't drop it, then I don't want to talk to you anymore tonight. And I hung up on her. Yes, set your foot down. The next day I'm at work and I text her asking if she was still in a mood. She says no. Then she starts texting me a huge paragraph saying, it's okay if you do like Tiff. If you could just be honest with me, we could work past it together. At this point, I'm starting to get frustrated and I get upset. I was literally begging her to drop it. I finally just said, this is the last time I'm going to tell you I do not have feelings for Tiff. Please stop. I don't want to talk to you if this is all we're going to talk about. And then she has the audacity to say, I think you do. I just don't think you know you do. We're too young to know how you feel. What? And you probably just don't realize how you really feel. This was my breaking point. As I sat there staring at my phone, a singular comment from my last post just popped into my head. Imagine how much your mental health will improve once you dump her. And I finally just texted her that this isn't working out and that I'm breaking up with her. Let's freaking go. Like I had anticipated, she did not take it well. I've tried to break up with my girlfriend in the past. When we first started dating, she showed up to my home and threatened to K herself if I left her. Oh my god, bro, she's emotionally manipulative. This is a monster. Get away from this woman. Call me stupid, but that worked on me. She knows that I have attempted before. Bro, cut this woman out of your life completely. She knows that I've lost my best friend ever to sewer slide. And I told her if she ever threatened me with that again, I'd have her committed. Okay. She starts freaking out, calling me 10 times while I'm at work, blowing up my phone, saying that she is in physical pain because I broke up with her. She can't breathe. Her chest hurts. You know, this sounds like the kind of thing you would say when you are like in your first serious breakup when you're a teenager. This is an almost 40-year-old woman, you guys. I stick to my guns and just say, if that's how you're really feeling, I could call an ambulance for you. I keep telling her that I'm breaking up with her. I don't hear from her again for a few hours. She calls me on my way home from work, asking why I haven't texted or called her. Bro, block her number. She was so upset that she fell and hurt herself. Sorry, it's not funny that she's like potentially hurt herself. It's funny that she's so freaking dramatic and thinks that this is gonna work. What a piece of work, to put it nicely. I just keep telling her, I can call an ambulance for you if you'd like. Eventually, I say she's only embarrassing herself by making these threats. True. And if she doesn't stop, I'll call the police and have them commit her base. Then she starts telling me that I don't care about her. I don't love her. The whole 9 yards. Yeah, true, you just broke up with her. Cope. Seethe. I just keep saying I love you so much and this breaks my heart, but my mental health is suffering because of the way you treat me. Good on you. Keep your foot on the ground. Good boy. Finally, she just tells me that I can't break up with her. Bro, what? I don't have a good reason to. What? And I say, I'm a grown adult in the United States of America. I can break up with you because the sky is blue if I so desire. Come on, dude. You're probably wondering why I haven't just blocked her at this point. Yeah, I really am. And it's because I'm genuinely terrified that she would show up to my job or make a scene or show up at my house. Which leads me to the next part of the story. She keeps asking me how long I'm going to be mad at her. Oh God. And being in denial about the fact that we've broken up. Oh my goodness. Warn your work. Warn your family. Change your locks. Change your phone number. The next morning, I woke up really early to take my roommate to work. I changed my relationship status on Facebook to single and changed my profile picture. On my way home, she calls me again. Where are you? Why aren't you home? Oh my God. Oh my God. I freaked out, screaming at her on the phone. You better not be inside my house. Leave my house, you lunatic. Stuff like that. I even threatened to call the police on her and get a restraining order. She calls my bluff. I pulled into a parking lot where I could see her car in front of my house. She was never in my house, just in the parking lot. I texted her to leave and keep telling her I'll call the cops. She stops answering. I didn't want to call the police, mainly because I've often seen them weaponized by the women in my life, which is another reason I didn't want to confront her. Oh my God. This guy has been through it. So I called her dad instead. I told him the situation and it turns out he followed her to my house. They lived together to get her to leave. I find out later that Jeff did call her the day we broke up. He was happy that her relationship with me was over. She cursed him out and blocked his number. Oh, so that's what it takes. I just keep telling her the fact that it even came to this just proves that she doesn't respect me. The next few weeks have been her calling and texting me to work things out. Multiple paragraph apologies, promises of change. Her family started out as understanding and supportive of me, but as of lately have just been randomly calling me behind her back to ask, how long is this gonna go on? Because she is incredibly depressed. Oh my God, block them too, please. Despite the fact that I've made it clear that as of right now, I have no intention of taking her back. Good. After one phone call from her stepdad where he started to raise his voice, I just hung up and blocked our whole family. Based. Good on you, as you should have. I just keep telling her the same thing. I have no intention of getting back together with you. Maybe in the future, after you work on yourself, we can talk about it. I haven't blocked her because I do care about her, bruh. If you care about her, you'd block her. I want her in my life, just not in a romantic sense. Bro, no. No. I tell her that if she can't handle just being my friend, that I'll have to stop talking to her altogether. And that just because I am her friend, I don't want her to think that means we are getting back together. Last time I spoke to her a few days ago, it seems that she's finally understanding the gravity of the situation. She is taking accountability and has already met with a therapist. Finally! We've been broken up for about a month and a half. I do feel a lot better mentally. I feel kind of free. I don't have to justify talking to anybody. I also feel alone and a bit depressed at times. I feel stupid for letting someone emotionally bully me into getting rid of all of my close friends. It's a mixed bag, but I'm taking this time to work on myself. TLDR, I broke up with my girlfriend because even after I let her have her way, she still tries to accuse me of cheating and being in love with other women. Then told me, a 28-year-old man, was too young to know how I really felt. She then called me 30 to 50 times in 2 days and showed up at my house after trying to emotionally blackmail me into taking her back. My guy, holy crap. This is a mess. This is a huge Kentucky Fried mess. Let's read some commentos. Why would you want to be friends with a controlling, manipulative ex-girlfriend? You know the second any other girl comes into your life, it's gonna be drama from her. Don't do it. Just move on and leave her in the past. This. Another commenter says, I think he still hasn't processed just how awful she was to him. She's clearly played enough games with him that he feels he needs to be in her life in some way. Pausing on this comment, literally true. Because he's explaining how he feels so free now without her, but also he feels alone and depressed. Bro, she's like set up the foundation to where you literally need her. You need her to like cope and function, and that's not how it should be. You should be able to be a completely happy, functional human being on your own before you can be in a healthy relationship. People say this all the time. That's because it's true. If you need to be with somebody to be happy and to not feel like lonely and stuff, you're laying the foundation for a huge mess down the road. Okay, back to this comment. OP, please read this comment and block her. Whatever she does next will never be your fault, even if she ends up hurting herself or you. She is a fully grown adult and has a support system outside of you. You need to cut her off completely and let her work on herself independently. She will never make the progress she needs to ever associate with you again while you are still in her life. I agree. Good luck, man. Hopefully you can talk to a therapist and work out why you stayed for so long, why you never called an ambulance, etc. Another commenter replies, moreover, any woman worth a damn isn't gonna date a man who won't cut off his manipulative ex. You need to actually close the door on her or you haven't moved on. Nobody wants to hear it's complicated from a nearly 30-year-old man. It's true. It's so true. You're pulling the same shit you did in your last post. You aren't committing to what you know you need to do, and it's going to continue to weigh on you until you do. I'm not saying this to denigrate you because you made a big change and you should be proud of that. I want you to be conscious that you are still operating in half measures. Block and move on. I do also want to throw out there that as of this post, of course, it's only been like a month and a half, so it is still like a fresh wound, and of course you're not going to get 100% better like overnight, so it'll take time, but hopefully he does, come to his senses and realize what they're saying, because if it's like a year from now and he's still in contact with his ex, this person or these people are absolutely right that you're not going to find somebody else if you are still like coasting with these problems. Another commenter comments, this woman has deep mental health issues and isn't mentally healthy enough to be in a romantic relationship with anyone. True. Why would you stay friends with her? Why would you dangle the carrot of maybe taking her back in the future? Cut her completely loose and block her. You are not doing her or yourself any favors. Someone replies to this, yeah, the maybe part can only have made things worse. It gives her possibly false hope. It encouraged her to keep bombing him. Bad move for both parties. Not fair to her, harder on him. Another comment says, stop telling her that there may be a future. As long as you give her some kind of hope, she'll never stop. Another commenter comments, they quote, as I sat there staring at my phone, a singular comment from my last post just popped into my head. Imagine how much your mental health will improve once you dumped her. And I finally just texted her that this isn't working out and that I'm breaking up with her. I hope you see the importance reaching out had in this sequence of events. Although it didn't have the immediate dump her and walk into the sunset impact a lot of commenters hoped it might, it did cause a change in your behaviors and it set you up with a quiet internal idea to ponder. One that changed your perception of her and all of this just enough that you were able to force a change. And it's good. You saw all her blathering was a bluff. You've seen her family and shitty enablers. You've seen that she is as far from capable of love as you can be. I just keep telling her the same thing. I have no intentions of getting back together with you. Maybe in the future, after you work on yourself, we can talk about it. But be careful. You are still playing into her histrionics. You are still giving her stuff to work with. Later, she will insist due to her progress that she won't make because she's doing all this for the wrong reasons. You outright owe her another chance. You are setting yourself up for that free punch. So I'd stop saying all of that. I'd start being more vague now that she's pulled away. I'd say it's quiet enough now you can consider just blocking her. You got caught in a trauma bond. It's hard, I know, but you've done the hardest part. Well, so long as you stick to it. Don't lose all of this great progress by softening too much on her. True. That is kind of like a trauma bond. Been there, done that. Don't ever want to experience it ever again. I'm glad that OP broke up with this train wreck of a girlfriend. Hopefully therapy does some amazing wonders for her. And to be honest, I hope that he fully cuts contact, attends therapy himself, and moves in a much better, healthier direction. Now on to story 2. I, 31 female, think my husband 29 male, and my sister, 28 female, are too close for comfort? 8 months ago, my sister, 28 female, moved back into town. Small backstory, she's not lived here in 10 years as she originally left for college, never came back. We grew apart, we talked maybe once a year, and I haven't seen her physically in 4 years. I've, 31 female, been with my husband, 29 male, for 8 years, married for 3. She has met him twice in the entire duration of my relationship with him. He's a quiet and serious man who only opens up in front of me and a few of his select friends. She was struggling to get a job here, so I thought I'd be a good person and asked my husband if he could maybe help her find a job at his company since they work in the same type of field. Fast forward to current times, and they actually work in the same department now. He's been acting more closed off towards me lately, but he claims everything is fine when I ask him what is wrong. We had our traditional family Christmas meal yesterday, and at first he tried to get out of it. This is not something he's ever tried to do, and I was very confused by this. After some convincing, he finally agreed to come along. My sister pulled him aside a few times, and they were in a very deep conversation, as if the rest of us didn't exist. When I approached them every time, they would jump a little, and when I'd ask what they were talking about, they would say, a work project that's near deadline. I was feeling a little off about their behavior, but the one thing that got me the most was at one point, he got up to go get himself another drink. She was sitting in a chair that was next to the kitchen door, so he passed her to go to the kitchen. When he was near her, she put her hand up, reached towards him, and he caressed her palm and lightly grabbed her fingers as he walked up past her. She looked up at him with a big smile. He looked down at her and nodded his head. As soon as he was out of sight, she turned her head towards me and smirked at me. Bitch! Oh my god, what? Oh hell no. No. I would be steaming. Absolutely steaming. When it was time for dinner, there was a main dining table that seats most of the guests. There was a second table that could seat an additional 4 people. She sat down at the side table away from everyone else. I got my plate and sat down at the main table, but saw that he sat down at the side table with her. Oh hell no. Divorce. I know that that's the nuclear Reddit response, but divorce. I told him there was a seat next to me, and he told me he wanted to sit where he was at. I decided to join them, and they went from actively talking to each other to just sitting in silence while we ate. No. I asked him what that hand touching was about, and he just said, it's just a high five. What the f? I said it didn't look like a high five, and he said that's all it was. Hell no! Absolutely not. I've never had any reason to suspect him of cheating, but this has me feeling on edge. I've been battling with myself to investigate further. Another thing is that he doesn't focus that strongly when he and I talk. It's always just short answers and lighthearted. They were having some intense conversations where he was hanging on her every word and giving her in-depth responses. Would this make you feel like something's going on? Yes, girl. Everything about this is screaming, get out of here. Get out of here. There were several instances where they were both on their phone talking at the same time as well, and glancing at each other sometimes. That could be nothing, but after everything else, it made me feel uneasy. Don't gaslight yourself. Something ain't right. Something is not right. TLDR, I'm starting to suspect my husband and sister may be having an affair or are beginning to think about doing so. I can't decide if I'm being paranoid or if there's really something suspicious going on. I don't know if I should talk to him or her more, set clear boundaries, or investigating further. What are some steps I can take? Hail to the nah. I don't even think I could be capable of dating somebody who would be capable of doing this. Absolutely not. Like in front of your family too? Christmas dinner? Hell no. That's sketch. That's absolutely sketch, and your sister is an awful person. Now onto some comments. A commenter comments. OP, I'm so sorry. They're having an affair and she wants more. She wants him to choose her. That's why he didn't want to go. This is why she smirked at you, watching him caress her hand like they're in a gosh darned Jane Austen novel. Go through the phone records and see who he kept texting during dinner. I bet my kid's college fund it was her. Hire the private investigator, consult an attorney. He is going to try to hide as much as possible since you showed distrust earlier. That exactly. Cover your tracks first before you confront. Another commenter comments, while the touch was disgusting, icing on the cake. So sorry, OP. I think the fact that your husband was desperately trying to get out of family dinner, they knew it'd be hard to hold up the facade, and pretty much a dead giveaway. There is zero reason for them to have been trying to avoid and yet also be so in-depth in convo. Commenter replies, he tried to avoid the dinner because he knew what would happen, that he couldn't stay away from his girlfriend and that OP would figure it out. You have already gotten some great advice in this thread. All I have to say is to be analytical about it. Remove the emotion as best as you can. Don't confront him about it. Get evidence, confirm your suspicion, and seek legal counsel. If you have shared accounts prior to dropping the bomb, take your share. Get absolutely everything in order before letting him know that you know. I'm sorry you're in this position. You'll get through it. Just be smart. Good luck, OP. Someone replies, you do get to feel your feelings eventually. Now is the time to be rational and plan your next steps. I'm so sorry, OP. You will get through this and have better times ahead. Lawyer first. Don't let on that you are concerned until you have reviewed your position, protected assets, etc. Someone else comments, your own sister? Hell, you know her best. My sister would throw my husband out in the cold if he ever came onto her. She'd probably divorce him for me. If your sister is sleeping with your husband, she sucks. I am so sorry. True, I have sisters. I don't think they would ever, and I certainly would never go after the men that they're with. It's weird and kind of gross. We could be sisters, but I don't think I want to be like Eskimo sisters. Another person comments, a touch like you describe alone is solid evidence. All of the other stuff just confirms it. They are having an affair. Keep your cards close to your chest while you get proof, then see a solicitor. I am so sorry. And now onto the update. Update, I, 31 female, think my husband, 29 female, and my sister, 28 female, are too close for comfort. I apologize for not updating sooner. I've been busy getting things sorted out. After my first post on a Tuesday, I'd asked my husband if he'd go on a little weekend getaway with me. We went to a cabin up in the mountains. Neither of us had cell service. I planned for that as I wanted to make sure I had his full attention. The first night went fantastic and I'd almost forgot everything about my concerns with my sister. When we woke up the next morning, we cooked breakfast together, but he was rather quiet. I asked if he'd go on a little walk with me, which he agreed to. We reached the lake. There were some large rocks you could sit on. We both sat on the same rock, and we sat there in silence for what felt like forever. I finally got the courage to bring up the concerns I had with my sister and him, and his face went white. Oh no. He admitted to falling in love with my sister. No! He said that it all started because of how much they have in common. They spend more time together at work than he does with me at home. He said he feels like he can talk to her about anything and it never gets tiring. He said he's never felt more alive than he does when he's with her. And then started having a physical affair in October. No! The emotional affair began in June after working with her for a couple of months since the end of April. He apologized for hurting me and deceiving/betraying me. I asked him what he wants to do about it. He said that as much as he knows it will hurt me to say, he is no longer in love with me. Oh my god. The most painful thing I've ever heard in my life is when he said that the way he feels for her made him realize that he's never once felt that way for me, even at the time when he loved me the most. He said it's not comparable by any measure, and he doesn't feel right staying married to me. Holy shit. We are splitting an agreement that the marriage is over, but yes, I'm heartbroken. They have both applied to transfer jobs to a different city with the same company and offered to let me keep the house. I told him that I didn't want the house because it reminds me of him/us. We have split the finances and he's giving me more money than he is taking. We are getting ready to list it for sale and I have been packing and doing odds and ends like painting. He said I could keep the full amount of the house sale. Now the carpet/flooring comes tomorrow tomorrow and the movers come this afternoon. I found a small house for myself to start fresh, but I know it'll take some time for me to not be so heartbroken. My sister, on the other hand, is not handling it as kindly as he is. Oh, F her. Literally F her. And she is gloating. F her. Out. No contact. Full no contact. She even accidentally sent me a photo of both of them where you can tell she is in heaven because she won him away from me. Disgusting. She changed her profile photo to a picture of her taking a selfie of herself smiling very smug as he's kissing her forehead. I unfollowed her on TikTok because now she's posting videos and photos of them together. Some of them are from months ago and it kicked me in the heart. I asked him if he could please ask her to stop, and he'd say he talked to her about it, but nothing has changed. I have removed myself from social media for now, except for Reddit. That's a good move. That's a good move. And her. My mother is favoring my sister's side. Okay, that tells me all I need to know. Before this sentence is over, that tells me all I need to know about their dynamic, their family dynamic. The sister is spoiled. 100%, no doubt about it. Any hootsies. My mother is favoring my sister's side, saying that she's not posting these things to hurt me, and my sister deserves to be happy. No, she doesn't. An affair takes two, and she absolutely no, she doesn't. Your mom's also a piece of shit. I'm sorry. My mom said it's my fault for looking, and I need to stop being so petty. Dude, F them both. My father is taking the white flag and said he'd like to stay out of it. All of them. All of them don't care about you. They don't love you. In my humble onion, I would go full no contact with all of them, because what the F is wrong with these people? You know, if my mom saw that, you know, this whole situation happened with, like, if it were me and my sister, let's say I'm the sister that did the boyfriend stealing or sorry, husband stealing. Husband, they are married. They are legally committed for life. My mom would drag me through hell and back and would never let me live it down. Me and my sister's ex, now my husband or whatever, would never be invited to anything. Like, this is bananas. He said he won't accept their relationship, referring to the father, and he is here for me for whatever I need, but he won't be in the middle of this, whatever. I respect his decision on that. I'm sure it's not an easy place to be in. I don't know. I feel like if you're not really taking a full stance, then you're picking the aggressor's side. I'm just saying. Thank you all for the kind words and the advice I was given. I probably didn't add everything, but my brain is kind of foggy at the moment. Yeah, I understand that completely, you poor thing. TLDR, my husband admitted to being in love with my sister and having an affair. He asked for a divorce and they are pursuing their relationship officially. Disgusting. Gross. Edit, for those thinking that this is unrealistic because it was magically resolved in 18 days, it is far from resolved. They are moving to a different office because he said he feels guilty and doesn't want to be near me. They have not transferred yet because they can't for a while due to lack of openings. I worded it wrong, which is my fault. I also wanted to update as much as possible as to try to put closure to this for those asking for an update. Also, I'm in North Carolina with all of them except my STBX at the moment, and will be for a long time, if not forever. I will be in North Carolina with him after the divorce. I have no idea what that acronym means. If you do, please comment what you think it means, but I'm assuming that's her ex. I don't know. But yeah. Now onto some comments. My sister likes to steal men away from me and other women too. Trust me, it's not going to last. She's going to get bored once she realizes it's not getting to you. I give it 4 years max. I warn men I'm in a relationship with how unfortunate she is. Only one has ever fallen for it. Her friends don't always realize it soon enough, so she's gotten a few of theirs. Ew, that's weird. The best revenge is living a good life. Don't let her see you sweat. Yeah, that's gross. That's so weird. I don't know about you guys, but personally, I feel like it'd be super gross if, I don't know, somebody that I'm with is double dipping and somebody else. I'm just saying, it's gross. I don't want that. Like, especially with my, it's gross. It feels like there's like a trickle of incest in there. I don't know how to explain it, but it's super gross and I hate it. Also, this commenter might be right. I don't know, because the OP didn't mention anything about like a past history of this happening. So maybe it's like a one-off, but the fact that like the one sister is kind of like showing off is like super weird to me. Someone replies to that comment, she's going to get bored once she realizes it's not getting to you. Yeah, I give it 4 years max. She's going to get bored once she realizes she actually got him. What's the fun in that? I give it 2 max. Someone else replies, this is what I thought too. Once OP has moved on and has gone no contact. Oh shit, they're not in North Carolina. That meant no contact. Sorry, they're acronyms. Let me back this train up. Zoop. Edit for those thinking that this is unrealistic because it was magically resolved in 18 days, it is far from resolved. They're moving to a different office because he said he feels guilty and doesn't want to be near me. They have not transferred yet because they can't for a while due to a lack of openings. I worded it wrong, which is my fault. I want to update that as much as possible. I tried to put closure to this for those asking for an update. Also, I am no contact with all of them except my STBX at the moment and will be for a long time, if not forever. I will be no contact with him after the divorce. Oh, soon to be ex. Oh my god, I figured it out. I hate all the acronyms. I hate it so much. I get that it simplifies things, but like, not everybody knows them all and not everybody's an English speaker. Dude, soon to be ex. Soon to be ex. No contact with all of them except my soon to be ex. I hope that includes your family. Just saying. Okay, back to that reply. This is what I thought too. Once OP has moved on and has gone no contact with her ex and sister, I have a feeling that the honeymoon phase will die out pretty quickly. The sister won't care for him as much because he's served his purpose of just a plaything that she could claim over her sister, and he'll realize that what he thought was love was actually infatuation and that the sister was just playing him all along. He'll realize that they don't have as much in common and being with her isn't as great as he once thought. Likely at this point, regret will kick in for ex-husband. If they do last, I doubt it will be a happy marriage and it will just be surface level filled with misery. Based on things I've heard and seen before, I think I agree. I recommend OP go no contact with her sister and mother. Life will get better, and in a year from now, OP will look back and will be grateful that her sister showed her how weak and disloyal her ex really is. A weak, unfaithful man is hardly a prize, and with time, OP will realize she deserves much better and will be blessed with better. Hell yeah. Another person replied, this, her husband traded his marriage for the type of woman who would purposely steal away her sister's husband and gloat about it. She's not a good person, and she sounds high maintenance. I would be very surprised if she didn't get bored and either cheat or leave him in a few years. OP's husband is not a good person either, so he'll be getting what he deserves. The things that he said to OP about having not felt more alive and never having felt the same way about her were completely unnecessary. He really didn't need to twist the knife like that. That's just cruelty on top of the cruelty of cheating on his wife for so many months with her own sister. I'm surprised OP is doing this amicably. He is a disgusting trash man, and OP, you'll be absolutely better off without him. I guarantee that things will not be so happy for them when all of the excitement and thrill of what they're doing dies down. This. The best thing you could do is block them all and ignore. Go no contact with your mother as well. I have a feeling that your sister will be hungry for information about how poorly you're doing because she wants to gloat. Avoid sharing anything with anyone who will get that information back to her. Go act like you're free and living your best life. Eventually, it will feel true. Edit to add, OP, you may want to consider getting some individual counseling if you have not already done so. This is really rough. This is a really rough thing to go through, and it helps to have support. I hope things get better for you soon. True. Whoa, I'm so sorry. Just awful from all of them. Someone replies, and the mother is a B too. True. Sorry I'm saying that like a million times, but these people are cooking. They are cooking. OP, I'm so sorry you're going through this, and clearly your sister takes after your mother, as your mother doesn't think her daughter being a piece of shite is any concern, and you should just get over it. Is she expecting you to be happy at family gatherings? But I can guess that you'll get the ultimatum from your mom. They're always going to be welcome, and you come or don't. Way to parents not holding their children to account for their shitty behavior. Your ex is also a huge piece of shite. I wish them paranoia and a lifetime of itchy genitals on your behalf. You do what is right for you / your mental health. And that may also mean going low contact with your parents, as it doesn't sound like they support you at all. The OP replied to this comment, I'm currently no contact with my parents at the moment, and I don't plan on changing that anytime soon. Yes, queen. Yes, queen. I let them know that I would not be attending family events in the future, even if my sister and ex-husband don't work out. I am appalled by all of them. I have been seeking counseling through all of this, and it is helping so far. Yes! You love to hear it. Glow up, queen, you deserve it. Another commenter comments, my heart sank. I felt the heartbreak and the betrayal not only by these two vile people, but from her family as well. I'm so sorry. Oh, I can't imagine. I wish I was your friend IRL. No one is fighting for you. People make me sick. Another person comments, I know exactly what's going on. Your sister's a spoiled narcissistic brat. Your husband is going to be love bombed by her. Your husband does not realize that he is not in a real relationship with her. I give it 6 months before he's in for a world of shock. Her mask will slip and her true abusive nature will come out. I don't think she even likes him that much. He provides her value because he belonged to you, her own sister. She's probably been jealous of you her whole life and has been validating her own self-worth by pulling you down. Your parents have gone along with it, haven't they? Now that she has him, she will look down on him. With a year, he will either be in a miserable relationship or seriously regretting what he has done. There are no winners here, and what he did was clearly wrong. He was being tested, and he failed. He is going to lose everything. Another person comments, the fact that your ex-husband isn't shutting your sister's behavior down shows very much that he isn't quote-unquote handling this kindly. He's giving you the money for the house for himself, to absolve himself of the guilt he might feel, or to look less shitty in front of the people who might take your side. It has nothing to do with you. If he had any love, even platonic love, or respect for you, he would have broken up with you before starting a relationship with anyone else, no matter whom. True, this 1000%. Your sister is more open about her not giving a shit about you or even hating you, but he isn't any better. We are the company we keep, and this woman is the one he has chosen. I think you need to take a big step away from your whole family, including your parents, after you're done with the divorce, and thus not needing to stay in contact anymore. It sounds like none of these people truly love and support you. Quite the opposite. Please find yourself a good therapist and a healthy support network in form of great friends who have your back. Another person replies, with all the ATM withdrawals he did last year, giving OP the lion's share of the house profit is the least he can do to even up the asset division. I bet his credit card was also maxed out with all the treats and presents for her sister. That woman sounds like she's high maintenance. Quick intermission, Spookybunns. As I come back into the video making and art sphere, I want to give back to you guys also. So I want to give something to you. One lucky Spookybun will get a gift bag from me, and all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and comment on the YouTube video. That was creepy, so I know that you listened to and enjoyed this episode. You can comment as many times as you like, and I will reply to the winner's comment asking them to email me so I can send you some merch goodies. Thank you so much, and back to the video. Are you guys enjoying the story so far? I ended up fixing the tiny twin tails. So, shoot, let's rock them for the rest of the video. Anywhoosies, story 3. My girlfriend is unemployed and occasionally goes out weeknights with her girlfriends in a major city by me. We've been dating for 4.5 years and living together for 4. Her email alerts come through on our shared iPad, and I saw that she took an Uber ride, and it looks like she dropped her friends off as well because the Uber route passes their homes, and was dropped off outside my apartment at 2:00 a.m. I received the alert afterward and became suspicious. I can use Find My iPhone on our iPad, and I can see that her phone is close by, about 4 blocks away on the same street. Uber says she was dropped off here. Where I live, it's all dense apartments, and I can't just walk over there to see what's up. It's likely there are several apartments in the building where the GPS says she is, and the GPS could also be off by a building or two on either, say, front or back. I'm freaking out. I've called and texted beginning at 4:45 a.m. with no reply. I called each of her girlfriends twice and no one has picked up. I'm so worried. Is she okay? Is she cheating? Seriously, guys, any advice right now would be really helpful to me. My heart is beating out of my chest. Do I call her more? Do I wait? Do I call the police? TLDR, my girlfriend was dropped off at 2 a.m. but has been at another apartment, I see on Find My iPhone, since for the past 3 hours. I'm afraid, sad, and a mess. On to some comments. A commenter says, don't assume the worst yet. When you see her again, ask her what she was doing and see if she lies about where she was, etc. Another commenter, call all the friends she went out with until someone picks up. It is possible she's cheating, but she could have gone to a friend of a friend's apartment to continue drinking. She could have been mugged and may be sitting in the police station. She could have been attacked and be lying in an alley. I think if you're cheating, you'd make up a reason why you weren't home, not just ignored your phone at 2 a.m. You know what? There's no way I can hear her phone if it's in an apartment, but I'm gonna walk around that area right now. I'm thinking there's a chance she was robbed / R-worded or whatever and just left. She's on the same block as the hospital here. Ugh. I'll be back in like 20 minutes. OP also comments, so her friend called me saying she just left my apartment 30 minutes ago. Does anyone think I should wait to see if she's home in another 30 minutes? Then call her friend and be like, look, she's not home yet. I'm pretty sure you lied to me. What really happened last night? A commenter replies to the original post. No, patience is of the essence in this situation. Act ignorant till all the facts are clear. For all we know, she might just have fell asleep in one of her friend's place. Someone else comments, she's not gonna rat out her friend for you. She'll just warn your soon-to-be ex you're onto her. A deleted commenter says, first off, I think the fact that you're checking up on her with the Find My iPhone thing means that there's already trust issues, which needs addressing. Secondly, I would not immediately presume the worst. There may be a reasonable explanation. I would wait until she comes home, ask her where she was, and omit telling her you used the Find My iPhone and see what she says. If she lies and says she was staying with a friend who you know doesn't match the GPS, then you can call her out on it. If she's honest and tells you what's up and why she stayed where she did and who with, then that's cool. But I would still suggest discussing the trust issues. I'm sorry to hear you're feeling shitty. Hope it all turns out alright, OP. Please update. Someone replies, I agree with most of what you said, except that they have trust issues already. That may be the case, but more likely it could be that a worried boyfriend was trying to make sure his girl's okay. Since she didn't return his calls or texts, neither did her friends, and now it is almost 5 in the morning. I mean, true, if I was with somebody and they don't answer calls or texts, like up until 5 in the morning, I think I'd also be pretty concerned, and I would start checking things like Find My iPhone or whatever to make sure that she's okay. OP also replied, thanks. I do appreciate that you're holding out for optimism. My biggest issue is that if she was not going to come home, in what situation would that ever be okay not to text or call me so that when I woke up I wouldn't panic, which I did. I mean, Opie kind of has a point. Someone else comments, call me crazy, but something is wrong in the situation if your first or predominant concern is whether she's cheating and isn't whether or not she's dead. I mean, the world is a dangerous place, and if you're used to hearing from her, don't, and then add this set of facts, well, I'd be freaking out if I were you. Not contemplating how intensely I'd be able to interrogate her seems upside down to me. A replier says, that would make sense, but the friends wouldn't all be acting shady if she was dead in the ditch somewhere. I suppose that's a good point. Alrighty, back up to the original post I edited to say, edit more clarity added, major update. Her friend just called. She spent the night with her. This is a clear-cut lie. I'm getting off of Reddit for a bit, but we'll update after we speak. I'm doing my best to be composed right now. Wish me luck. Update 2. This is insane. Her friend called me and said they all stayed at the friend's apartment. Uber and iCloud say that's a lie. So I asked to speak with my girlfriend and was told she just left. So I called her phone and she did not pick up. I'm watching iCloud, the phone has not moved. I think her friends just nailed her coffin shut. In any case, coming from the friend's apartment, she can only come from 2 directions. The place where iCloud says she is a different direction. When I see her start to move, I'm going to wait outside around the corner and catch her walking back from an impossible direction based on the story she's going to try to sell me. And now on to the update. To summarize, my girlfriend of 4.5 years went out with some friends last night in a major city. We share an iPad. I woke up and checked the iPad. It's kept next to the bed and saw there was an Uber ride receipt that my girlfriend was dropped off at home at 2:07 a.m. I tried to use the Find My iPhone app on the iPad to check my girlfriend's iPhone to see where she was and see if she was okay. Her phone appeared 4 blocks away on the same street. I was unable to get in touch with her or any of her friends until 9 this morning. Okay, here's the update. Her friend called me at 9 a.m. and sounded frantic. Oh my god, your girlfriend came back to my place last night and just fell asleep. We both got really drunk, so sorry that no one called or texted you, but I knew this was a lie. Because the friend's apartment is nowhere near the apartment 4 blocks up the road from me. I have no idea whose apartment that even is. I said that's okay and asked to speak to my girlfriend, but was told I couldn't because she just left, quote unquote. Typically, it should take about 20 minutes to get from friend's apartment to my apartment. More than an hour goes by and still no girlfriend. I decided to call her and I could hear that beep at the end of the ringtone, signaling to me that she's on the other line with someone. I watched her on Find My iPhone leave the mystery apartment, stop on the street corner for about 15 minutes, then proceed to walk a different route. What she was doing was buying some groceries. So when finally she did walk in at 10:15 a.m., her excuse was sorry, the shuttle was super slow today, plus I stopped to get some fresh fruit. No apology or anything. She's acting like I'm a psychopath for caring where she had been all night, even though it's uncharacteristic for her to stay out all night. In fact, she usually calls or texts me when she's on her way home from the city. Oh, okay. So we go inside and I say, tell me about your night. She goes, we just went to the club, that's it. I asked if they stayed there all night and she told me she stayed there pretty late. This is another lie. Uber says she was picked up at the club at 1:50 a.m. and clubs here close at 4 a.m. On a typical night, she'll come home between 3 to 4 a.m. So I asked if they went anywhere else. No, we were pretty drunk, so we went straight from the club to my friend's apartment. When I got there, I passed out on the couch. This makes absolutely no sense because the Uber receipt states clearly that she was dropped off at my apartment. At this point, I say to her, are you sure you're telling me everything? And she gets heated. Oh, that's a red flag, brother. That's a red flag. F you, I already have a father and overprotective brother. Why the F can't I just go out with some friends for one night without you getting all over my A about it? Note, she goes out with her friends alone 2 to 3 nights a week and I let that happen. It's not like she doesn't constantly go out with them. At this point, I tell her about the Uber ride receipt and show her screenshots to Find My iPhone application. I show her a journal of the things I attempted to do to get in touch with her and explain how worried I was. The response? F you, why the F are you accusing me of S? I am constantly trying to tag myself on Facebook and it shows up as the wrong location. My phone is effed up anyway. I'm not lying. I went right to a friend's apartment. Okay, so why does Uber have confirmation that you were dropped off here? And this is where the story breaks apart. Well, we dropped off all the girls off at the apartment first, then Uber took me here. But I couldn't find the apartment keys anywhere, so rather than calling you, waking you up, or ringing the buzzer to get in, I just decided to walk to my friend's apartment. Bull S. She was in a simply club outfit with no jacket. It was 14 degrees last night. The streets and sidewalks were literally sheets of ice. There is no way she walked a 35-minute walk at 2 a.m. in 6-inch heels in those conditions. Through the ghetto in 13 degrees. No chance. She tells me I'm an a-hole and I need to believe her. She tells me she's telling the truth and even says check my phone. And miraculously, there's no call log of whoever she was speaking with from around 9:45 a.m. when I tried calling. And there's a full text convo of her speaking with a friend about how they spent the night at friend's apartment. Mind you, these texts are all sent during the time period where I saw her on Find My iPhone leave the apartment and hang out on a random corner. These girls were straight up plotting. So I calmly told her that I'm not buying it and that I'm ending the relationship immediately. I packed a large bag in front of her with my clothing and laptop, etc., and I'm leaving within the next half hour. She's basically pretending this isn't happening. She's acting cool about it. She's just saying in a normal speaking voice, well, if that's what you want to do, I won't stop you. So that's that. I think that she thinks I'm going to wimp out at the last moment and stay. I think that she thinks she can push the limits and win. I'm not wrong, right? If Find My iPhone says you're up the block, don't tell me you stayed a 10-minute car ride away. The GPS is not inaccurate. This is effing reliable science. I don't know what will happen to me from here on out. I've got a 6-month expensive gym membership I need to deal with. We had a mountain trip and Florida trip planned within the next 30 days. Plus, all of our friends overlap. In any case, I don't know if she cheated, but I'm 99.99% certain that she stayed somewhere else and is actively trying to cover it up. She's actually trying to place blame on me for being possessive. I was called a psycho and a stalker, and she's acting like it doesn't even matter if I leave. F this, I am out. If you got any criticism or kind words for me as I start my new life, please comment. I'll come back on once I get to my parents' house later this afternoon. My plan is to live here until I can figure out new living accommodations. And finally, thank you all for the advice and tremendous amount of support this AM. I was in a really bad place and don't know what I would have done without r/relationships. I felt like I was having a panic attack. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. TLDR, F it, I'm leaving. Well, that's an interesting one, huh? Seems kind of silly. Like, this one feels a lot less serious than the other stories, but I could still, see where he's coming from. And I could kind of see where the girlfriend's coming from, but I feel like if she was operating honestly, she wouldn't be so defensive and aggressive like that. That's my 2 cents, though. Someone comments, she's unemployed and going to the club 2 to 3 times a week. Dumping this loser is a smart move. Another person comments, sorry it turned out this way. I was hoping there'd be a valid excuse. I'm sure you'll hear from her very soon. Next comment. If she wasn't up to anything, she wouldn't have gotten mad and defensive when you asked her if she was really telling you the whole story. There it is, brothers. There it is. If she thinks this is you being too possessive, then she should be happy the relationship's over, because now she's free to go find someone who is less overprotective. You made the right call. Proud of you. I feel sorry for you, man, but there's indeed enough proof for you to go on that she is in fact covering something up. What I don't get is all these people she goes out with all cover her A and think this is okay. Very immature if you'd ask me. Good luck out there, mate. I'm sure you'll find someone who appreciates your concern. Another person comments, I'm glad you're leaving. My only advice is to start looking for maybe a different type of woman. There's nothing wrong with going out to clubs, but as a 31-year-old, it would probably serve you best to find someone a little more mature. Good luck to you and don't slide backwards into her BS. 31? Hold on, let me scroll back up. Okay, so he's 31 and she was 28. Yeah, that kind of, everybody's allowed to have whatever lifestyle that they want, but 28 years old with a boyfriend seems kind of old to be clubbing on the regular with your friends and then throw a fit when you start acting differently and your man's is like, hey, what's going on? Because what if something actually did happen to her? What if she was in danger? Would she rather him just ignore her? Then what? Then she'd get on his case for not paying enough attention. It's a lose-lose for the guy, so I'm glad that he dumped her and moved on, and I hope that there's a much better future for him in the future. Story number 4. My 41 female husband, 52 male, has a second family on the side. I've been sitting with this information for almost 2 weeks now, and I still don't know how to proceed. My husband has been in what seems like a committed relationship with another woman, and he's playing happy families with her and her 3 sons. They're even planning on having a baby. A week ago, I stumbled on a TikTok account of this lady sharing her recipes, and in the background, I recognized my husband's back. I wasn't too sure at first, but after taking a real good look at his wife, I knew that fool's neck, back, legs, and the clothing he was wearing. So I went looking through her posted videos just to piece together a confirmation of it really being my husband. And I continued to keep an eye on him and his movements, but he seemed normal. It's clear to me now that he has his cheating down to a science. Every time he went on his work trips, she'd post these videos saying she's cooking a new recipe because her man is coming back from his work trip. She'd plate the food up, and I'd recognize his grubby hands by their look and the way he'd hold the cutlery. He has a particular way of holding it. Kind of looks like a Neanderthal discovering forks and knives. I can't believe this bastard has been with her for 3 years. I don't know how he found the time to start an entire relationship on the side. I thought we were happy. He tells me he loves me all the time, always brings me a gift from his work trips. When he's home, we have a great S life and pretty much have S 4 to 6 times a week. We talk all of the time. We have been married for 21 years and we have 2 daughters. We lost our eldest son 10 years ago, but we worked through it and got closer than ever before. We are even due to have our 22nd anniversary and it's his turn to plan it. We alternate who plans the anniversary each year. I know he's been planning an elaborate party for for us. So why is he cheating? I'm so angry and I don't know what steps to take. I'm utterly distraught. I thought we were happy. I thought he loved our little life. I feel like I can't think and I barely know where to start. I can barely focus. What do I do and how do I do it? I love coming on here and reading things and giving advice, but now that it's me, I feel like I can't think. I nearly burned my kitchen down because I literally spaced out and forgot I was cooking. This poor woman. I can't imagine going through something like that. Like, imagine you're just going through life as normal, everything seems great, and then you're just casually scrolling through TikTok, which has a bajillion videos on it, and it just so happens it recommends you a video of your husband's mistress with him in the background? Bro, what do you mean? Ain't no way. Like, if I were her, I would definitely be gaslighting myself. I'd be like, there's no way. There's no way. Unless he had a really specific tattoo somewhere and I saw that tattoo, no way. No way. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, comments. Someone comments, collect all the evidence of all of the videos and a timeline of all of his quote unquote work trips. Contact a divorce lawyer and hit him with the divorce papers. I'm normally of the approach that splits should be as amicable as possible, but this effort had a whole second family. Be the definition of a woman scorned. OP replies, I've been downloading all her TikToks and screenshotting everything she has posted on her Instagram. I have also been collecting all of our bank statements, but I can't find anything incriminating. At this point, I'm thinking he has a secondary bank account I don't know of, and he's probably having the post delivered at his office or at the mistress's house. I'm actually considering hiring a private investigator to do a deep dive since I can't find any other evidence of his cheating. Someone else comments, talk to a lawyer first, don't talk to him. He is most likely spending money on her too. You need to check all of your finances to make sure he is not in debt or taking money from any joint accounts, savings, retirement. I'd also do a credit check on him, the free ones, and see if he has opened up any credit cards or has loans or debt. It could be considered marital debt. Oh, that would piss me off. You need to set everything up to cover for yourself and your children. Most likely, he will move with her, which means he will be away and you will have full custody. You need to get everything prepared to be able to support them and yourself. If you tell him, he'll have time to hide money because you said he has a business. The business aspect means you need a very good lawyer because you'll be entitled to a percent of the business where he could pay you, but establishing the worth of the business can be difficult. OP replies, I've been looking up law firms and will be reaching out for appointments on Monday. I definitely won't tell him a thing until I've sorted myself out and had all our ducks in a row. As far as the business goes, I am financially invested and owned half of it, so I definitely need to get a lawyer and a forensic accountant involved. I do work and can fully afford to support myself and my girls. Woohoo! Yas queen. Depending on your state, someone comments, any money that he spent on his second family affair, that would have been considered joint assets with you, may be deductible from his portion of the divorce settlement and given to you. Be sure to ask your divorce attorney about that possibility. Ooh. OP replies, I'm definitely going to make note of this and discuss it with a lawyer because from the looks of all the renovations and presents she's posted online, he has definitely spent a fortune on her. Ooh. Do not say anything to your husband yet. He will probably just lie and try to gaslight you, someone comments. If you can afford to hire a private investigator, do it ASAP. Everyone who has used one says they're worth the money. And as everyone else has said, consult with a couple of lawyers. Good luck. Someone else comments, I'd go full scorched earth. This effer's name would be Mud. I'd get what I could and then ruin him. Gosh, please. I am rooting for OP. Please ruin this guy's life. Please. He had no problem ruining yours and your kids. Just say. Just say. Someone comments, hey, how about you invite the other family to the anniversary party? Good luck with everything. Someone replied, when I read when he was planning the 20th anniversary party, I couldn't contain my pettiness. I feel it's the perfect opportunity to expose him. While it would be probably, and it would be like delicious and gobble, 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 yum, yum, eat that shit up. But as somebody said previously, it's better to get all your ducks in a row first before confronting him. Oh, my internet is making my model skip. Wah! Another person comments, I would suggest following all of the good adult advice being given here. But also, once you have formality priorities in order, but before you reveal to him that you've caught him, start making him all the meals from the recipe videos. Hopefully it makes him very uncomfortable. Rubs the hands together evilly. Someone else comments, you don't need to understand why he's cheated. He's a cheater and you aren't. There isn't going to be a way for you to relate this to his motivations. He's someone who wants more, not because you aren't enough, but because he can have more. So why not? He gets to live 2 lives with 2 women and take a break from either of them whenever he wants. He gets to comfort himself that he isn't hurting either of you because neither of you know about the other. So what's the harm? The real question is what you're gonna do from here. And for that, you need to see a lawyer and to make sure that your assets are protected, the bank, to make sure your accounts are protected, and a therapist. And then you divorce his lying A. It may be tempting to blow up his life from both ends and explore his cheating to the other woman. Talk to the lawyer first. You could be screwing yourself if he has lawyers seeking child support from both ends. True. OP replies, I started to research law firms and will try to establish appointments the coming week. It's really hard to think about why or what caused him to do this. I have no interest in having some big blowout and or expose his affair or his mistress because I am already embarrassed enough. But I can't say that I don't want to know the why. I mean, the mistress is an attractive woman, and I can definitely see why men are attracted to her, but I am definitely prettier and younger than her by at least 5 years, so it's definitely not a looks thing. You can't say it's an S thing either because we both have a great S life and we are also emotionally intimate. We have great couples dates and I regularly support him in his business and anything else he needs. I take great care of him and he seems truly happy with me. He tells me he loves me all the time and that he's so happy. He also seems so excited with our anniversary coming up and he's really planning on making it a memorable one. I just can't understand why. Why would he hurt me so? Why would he hurt our marriage like this? What did I do or didn't do? I know how pathetic it sounds, but these are the questions running circles in my mind. This poor woman, I mean, a lot of the times, if not most of the times, when it comes to cheating and cheaters, it's not you. It's not that you necessarily did anything wrong. I mean, sometimes maybe that is the case in a cheating relationship, but it doesn't mean that that's always the case. Some people are just greedy, simple as. And that doesn't mean that you did anything wrong or should punish yourself for it. You do not deserve any sort of embarrassment, guilt, or shame because of his actions. You deserve a happy life. Someone else comments, how is he funding her? OP replies, my husband makes great money. We are financially well off. He owns his own business, of which I am heavily invested in since its creation. In the past few years, he has been establishing a new office in a city not too far from where his mistress lives. I guess that's how he met her. And now, on to the update. Firstly, thank you all for your kindness and for all the great advice you've given me. I am truly grateful. The past couple of weeks have been a whirlwind of emotions. I have been able to engage the services of a great divorce lawyer, and I was advised to not let my husband know that I knew of his affair. I was then finally given the go-ahead a few days ago, and well, at first he refused to admit anything, but I was prepared for that and I showed him all the online posts his mistress made. I also showed him pictures taken by my investigator. He still denied it. Then accused me of being insane. Of course, it always goes there. You gotta flip it on the other person. Then after hours of me just throwing evidence after evidence at him, he finally admitted to the affair. He tried to twist things so that he could weasel and lie his way out of it, but I was relentless. You go, girl. I did not let him twist reality and make me doubt the plain truth. We argued all day and all night. It was exhausting. The next morning, he tried to get on my good side because I woke up to him having made breakfast and he was begging me to not hate him and to find it in my heart to forgive. What? He's out of his mind. I told him I could not and that I wanted a divorce. As you should, queen. That brought on the waterworks and he called me a heartless and unforgiving bee. He then left to take his things to his parents' house as I had asked him to leave. Yes, Wait, F this man. He deserves nothing. Nothing at all. While he was at his parents', I went to his mistress's home. My sister went with me. Well, she waited in the car. And well, she let me in and we talked. She wasn't even surprised I was there. I had already suspected she was aware of him being a married man, but I still gave her the benefit of the doubt. Oh, so she's a piece of work too. Okay. She was actually gloating. Oh no. She was actually gloating when she told me about how in love he is with her, how good he is to her boys, and how he bought her the house, the car, and all of the other money he spent on her. She then told me if I wasn't such a lazy bee and a gold digger, bro, what a witch. What an absolute witch. He wouldn't have been so easily taken, and how my lack of submission and servitude was the reason he cheated. What an absolute piece of work, to put it nicely. I don't understand as I work and earn more than him. Bruh. As she was flapping her gums, he arrived and he was pissed off at her. He was calling me a ton and I had texted him that I was at the mistress's house. Ooh. They argued as he told her not to speak to me like that, and oh, he's defending his wife. Okay. And he, in no uncertain terms, told her that he wants to be with me. That she is ruining his chance at saving his marriage. The audacity of both of these people is incredible. Human beings literally acting like this with full confidence. What the hell? I just thanked her for being forthcoming and continued to laugh my way out of the house because yes, my husband makes great money, but as his business partner, I own half of his business, and as his wife, I own half of his other assets. So I'm glad that she gloated and that she confirmed that he paid for most of what she has. Now I am for certain that he nor she deserve an ounce of sympathy, and I will take back everything he ever gave her and much more. Oh my god, what a wish. She is scum of the earth. He is scum of the earth. They're both terrible people. Like, the other person in cheating relationships, usually, like, you know, if they don't know, it's not really their fault. I mean, they're not really responsible for it either way, but the fact that she knew that this man was married, what a little homewrecker. Maybe she just wanted a sugar daddy, and maybe she was saying those cruel things because she's insecure that he's gonna leave her, and now she's gonna be out of all this cash. Oh, I'm so glad that the OP wins in this situation. Like, even though like losing your marriage of 20 some odd years is really awful and losing your life partner is really awful, and to lose it in this kind of way, like that kind of hurt is definitely going to follow her for a long time. And therapy everyone, therapy. Do not question therapy is a great idea. Yeah, she got the good end of the deal here, I think. And I love to hear it. A commenter says, I hope your divorce attorney has a field day with him. The day his AP gets booted out of the house he bought her will be a great day. Enjoy taking back what is rightfully yours. Oh, I certainly look forward to taking all of the possessions of the house and clawing back every penny spent on her. The OP replies, yes, bitch! Yes! Someone comments, hire a forensic accountant ASAP, and OP replies, oh, I did that because I'm certain he used company finances to live extra lavishly. Someone else comments, so you own half of her house and car? Get everything you're entitled to and make her homeless. Glad you had the legal side before blowing up their lives. Yes! Delicious. Oh, no. I'm eating this up. Congratulations or condolences are in order, someone comments. It's sad that it was truly the worst type of betrayal, yet great that you did reach the truth and acted on it. Please update when the dust is settled and the divorce is ironed out. I have no sympathy for your soon-to-be ex, and I hope you are way more satisfied with the settlement than he is. Yeah. Someone else comments, your husband is a sociopath. You should be extremely careful. You may be in more danger than you think. If I were you, I would go stay with family where you know you will be safe. Who knows what that guy is capable of? That is true. Who knows if he'll do something less than savory, we'll put it that way. Someone else comments, woo, go OP. Take them both for everything you can. What a pair those two pieces of shite make. They also asked info, how did your daughters take the news about the father cheating, and have they reacted to him yet? And OP replies, the girls are inconsolable. Oh, I feel so bad for them. They're the ones that really hurt the most. The kids in both sides of this are the ones that are hurting the most, and it's unfair to both of them. Both sets of kids, I mean. It's really cruel and heartless to build a relationship with children and to set up a foundation where it can crumble beneath them so easily. It's just awful. This man is not a father. He's a sperm donor. They had a massive row with him and currently aren't on the best of speaking terms. His parents are also livid with him, especially his mother. Based. Yeah, it sounds like he ruined his entire life and he completely deserves it. Someone else comments, he spent marital assets on his mistress? Honey, you're part of the owner of that property too. Stake your claim, sister. Get all of it, queen. Oh my goodness, me and this commenter are the same person. Yes, queen, get your shit. You deserve it. Jesus, just read the original post and no one noticed or mentioned OP was 19 and he was 30 when they got married. Oh, that explains it all. That explains it. I assume the second quote-unquote wife is perhaps early 30s. Well, the original poster did say that, I guess, that she's younger, at least seeming, than the other woman, so who knows. That's funny how this goes. It's always some like almost 30-year-old or 30-year-old man and like a girl fresh out of high school. Funny how that works. And somebody says, and I think it really sums this up great. This puts a great end to it. Take his miserable assets to the cleaners. And now onto story number 5. On r/relationship advice, my 24 female husband, 38 male. Okay. We already have an issue. This is another one. This is another one of some like 30-some-year-old man has picked up a girl straight out of high school, right? If their relationship is like at least 5 years, there's something real sketchy about the scenario. I mean, sometimes it happens and it's fine, but oh my goodness, the way it never works out usually. The way it usually doesn't work out. All right, NSFW. We got a warning. I'm gonna try my best to keep it PG-13. Please don't waste your time on the age gap. I am so sorry, but I'm gonna lay it out. It's probably, the age gap probably has something to do with it. I'm sorry. It just does. As much as you wish it doesn't, or as much as you think that you're a happy, functional couple. I mean, I started reading the post. I didn't even finish reading the title. That's how wild this is already getting. My 24 female husband, 38 male, keeps sexualizing my childhood trauma, even though I've asked him not to. Red flag, red flags, red flags. They're all around. It's the age. Red flags. Childhood trauma, red flags. I've tried everything. Nothing is working. Thinking of divorce. God, please don't waste your time on the age gap. It's something I've dealt with for our whole relationship. I wonder why. And I don't want to get lectured about it. In before, her problems are caused by the age gap, and then she gets lectured for it in the comments. But anyways, let's see what she has to say. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been with my husband for 6 years, married for 2. Y'all, I called it. More than 5 years. I called it. Bro said, oh, she's legal. It's fine. Different spots in life, different maturity? Oh, no, it's fine. Different power imbalances? No, it's fine. I know he's older, but he looks very youthful for his age and he's super fit and active, so honestly, the age was never an issue ever. Of course it isn't, because you were the younger person. And I can tell because you're mentioning things about like his looks and fitness and not where you are in life, your emotional and mental maturity and all, you guys listening, you know. Between the ages of 10 and 15, I was sexually abused by my stepdad, and when I first started getting serious with my now husband, I told him everything. All the details, all the ways it screwed me up, and all the horrible aftermath and fallout from various family members. In short, it was all bad in every way you can imagine. Let me take a moment to say, I'm so sorry that you went through that. I really am. It's really unfair, it's not cool, and I wish there was more that we could do for victims of these sorts of things. I really do. I hope that she's in a much better place now, but let's continue. Within the last 4 months, every time my husband and I make love, it starts out normal, but at some point, he always starts asking questions about the times I was abused. Red flag. He gets real graphic, and because we're in the moment, I always answer his questions. Huge red flag. I'm not a prude by any means, and I even have my own kinks, which he always enjoys. You're not, you went through such a traumatizing thing for years. That's not being prude. That's called being a normal human being. But lately it seems his only kink is hearing me talk about the most traumatic time in my life. That's an absolute no. I would never. First time, maybe there's a slip up. Second time, I'm setting my foot down. Third time, I am out. For good. What the hell? The questions he asks are so gross and so personal, and he's never asked these before. The concerning part is he seems to get excited about the details as I answer his question because he always finishes super fast once he starts asking these questions. This man deserves the incinerator. Not even the trash can, the incinerator. I've sat him down several times and told him how it makes me feel less than, how it hurts me, how it makes me feel like trash, how it brings me back to a horrible time, and I've told him to stop. He always apologizes about it and says he won't do it anymore. But then we start making love, and whether it's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or one of our longer sessions, he always ends up bringing it up near the end of our session, a few minutes before he finishes. Honey, you are clearly laying down your boundaries, and this man is just blowing right through them. This man does not respect or love you. Point blank, period. Like, ages or not, this man doesn't love you. He loves your trauma, and the fact that your trauma involved you being a child is really effing weird. I write this in my bed alone as I've asked him to sleep on the couch tonight because he just did it again after I repeatedly tell him not to. I don't know what my next move is. I'm tempted to leave, but I don't work and would have to take him to court to get some sort of support so I can live, and I know that stuff takes time. What a surprise! The young woman in the relationship magically doesn't have the abilities to support herself. Funny how that works. But it's definitely not the age difference, guys. I still love him and he's a great husband in every other sense, but this whole thing is turning me off and slowly but surely making me fall out of love with him. If he really loved me, why would he continually hurt me like this? You just said it with your own words. With your own words. It's there. The call is coming from inside the house. Also, is it possible he is perverted, liking that stuff? I don't know about perverted, but just predatory. How is this new? I've known him for years and he's never mentioned this as being a turn on. Any advice would be appreciated. I have no family and friends here as I'm new to the city we live in and my family lives in a different country. Thank you. Oh, okay. Plucks a girl fresh out of high school, has her separated from all her family and friends. She doesn't have a way to support herself. And they write themselves. They write themselves. Do they hear themselves when they write these things out? Maybe English isn't their first language. Maybe that's what it is. Someone commented, I was 19 when I met my ex, who was 33 at the time. We were together 7.5 years. We both looked really young for our ages, so most people didn't think twice about our age gap unless we explicitly told them. I didn't think it was a problem and didn't want to be lectured about it either. We were the exception. Age was just a number. He was into age play, of course. Every time. And he wanted me to pretend to be 8 to 12 and his daughter or little sister, ma'am. I expressed how I didn't like it every time, but every time he would inevitably start it in bed again. Oh no. Do you like daddy's big D, baby? I told him that it made me feel like he didn't like me, that he only liked this fetish. He would apologize, and the next time it would happen again, he basically couldn't get off if I didn't at least call him daddy. My senses are screaming from inside of my body right now. He turned out to be a legit PDF file. How am I not surprised? With lots of pictures of young girls in his possession. I've always looked really young for my age. He was into me because I passed as young as 14. And let me guess, you grow up, you start looking your age, and suddenly he's not interested anymore? Your husband is a monster. True. You've brought up how much him bringing your past trauma hurts you, and he continues to do it because he likes the power dynamic that comes with hurting you. True. This is why we say that the age differences don't work, but no one likes to listen. Someone replies, this comment should be top comment. I'm so sorry this happened to you. And OP, sorry you had to go through this and that your husband keeps bringing it up for his own win. Someone who loves you would never ever do this to you. Please keep that in mind. Stay safe. Exactly this. Someone else comments, I'm so sorry. Someone who loves you does their absolute best to do everything in their power not to re-traumatize you. Instead, he's literally doing it so he can... Do you see the connection? This isn't someone who is inherently nice or caring. Sure, he might pay for things or show affection, but that's what the cycle of abuse does. People need the good and the bad to stay in an abusive relationship. There is no space left to talk, to reason with him, to fix this. You have married a man who enjoys abusing you so much it's part of his bedroom fantasies. Please reach out to your family. I know you're scared, but it will get better. What's worse than being wrong? Asking for help versus being re-traumatized each and every night. Someone replies, exactly. He cares more about his... than he does about the most traumatic, awful thing that has ever happened to you. I want to strangle the man or like put him in a wood chipper or like both. Someone comments, oh shit, this isn't good. Okay, OP, I'm coming at you from a survivor's perspective here. Looking at the facts. 1, you were abused as a kid. 2, you hooked up with someone the moment you were legally an adult. 3, this is someone who is kind until you're uncomfortable. 4, this is someone demanding you get into your trauma. 5, this someone has not suggested any kind of therapy or counseling in order for you to help adjust to that you didn't get a healthy childhood. 6, this someone is getting off on it. 7, your reasonable boundaries are being repeatedly ignored. 8, you've just been moved to a different city with no friends. 9, your family is in a different country. You've been grouped. And if you're not being sexually or emotionally abused already, and remember there are many kinds of abuse, not just sexual assault, not just domestic violence, chances are extremely high that they're going to get worse. It's called escalation, and it's a classic abuse strategy. There's a trope in here that people will always tell you to break up, get couples therapy, etc. Honestly, OP, reading this, I'm scared for you because I could have written this 10 to 15 years ago with the same mindset. The age gap doesn't matter. He's nice except for this and this. And if I don't do what he wants, I was maneuvered into being alone. And then when I didn't have anyone else, it escalated and my abuse was used against me like this. Doesn't matter where. Doesn't matter leaving the city or this country. It doesn't matter to do it as soon as possible. Run, run, run. ETA, thank you so much for the words and the kindness towards OP. Please give any funds towards domestic abuse services in your area. Stay safe, stay strong. Someone comments, hijacking, top comment to add. Imagine the words, sexualized my childhood trauma are replaced by abuses me or hates me or with me. Now say it all out loud. He always says sorry and he swears he won't do it again, but eventually he always does. And now how does it sound? Abuse in any form is not okay, and he is abusing you. You just don't know it. He groomed you from a young age and is using you now. You are getting older and realizing slowly what is going on. Otherwise, you wouldn't be asking. Ask yourself what you would tell a friend or a sister if she asked you this. Imagine if you had a daughter with this man. Would you ever leave her alone with him? You should get out, but you already know that. Someone else comments, I'm not going to lecture you on the age difference, but you do need to acknowledge that his choice for a barely adult teen and his now repulsive obsession with your trauma is directly related to one another. He is showing you who he is. Bringing it up during S is downright cruel, but the fact that he started dating someone who's barely legal and is quick when forcing you to talk about your abuse during S is such a gigantic red flag. He couldn't legally be with you during the age you were violated, but thank his lucky stars, he can enjoy your trauma now. The fact that he can't keep his promises shows the utter lack of respect. When a person shows you who they are, believe them. Someone replied to that comment, he couldn't legally be with you during the age you were violated, but thank his lucky stars, he's enjoying your trauma now. I felt really sick reading that. 100% true and disgusting. I hope OP gets out. Came here to say this, you can ask people not to lecture you about it, but both things are related. There's a power dynamic going on in the relationship with a big age difference at a young age. That's the exact same kind of power dynamic that someone who is a predator is looking for, which is why he is grossly fetishizing your trauma. The person you marry should be your safe space, a comfort to you, and give you a reprieve from your trauma. He's taking your pain and getting off on it, and I can't think of a larger breach of trust and love than doing that to someone. So the reason he's only starting this now is because before, you being a teenager when he was an adult was his kink. Now you're basically an adult too, so he can only get off by thinking back to when you were a child. Basically, he's always been a creep. You just didn't see it because you were able to pass off his creepiness as him being in love with you. Now you're old enough that the only way this creep can get off is basically by thinking of you as a child. And someone replies, "This is terrible but very insightful for any face." Honestly. Someone comments, quote unquote, "Don't waste your time on the age gap." And yet, you were 18 when a 32-year-old man started dating you. You were only 3 short years behind your abuse. You were still, in many ways, a child. The age gap is absolutely relevant. I think it's better to divorce than re-traumatize constantly. He's a sicko for asking you these questions to get himself off. I mean, the comments pretty much are saying what I was saying. I hope that she kind of comes to and realizes the truth of the situation and gets the hell out of Dodge before things get worse. And now, on to the update. First of all, I want to say thank you to all of the kind souls who left supportive and kind messages. I tried to read them all, but there were just too many. My husband and I have decided together, to separate for the time being, as I just can't really get over how weird and abusive he's been over the past few months. He's currently letting me stay in the house until we figure out the next steps, and although he keeps apologizing, I decided to leave him and start my life over. God bless America, thank goodness. To everyone telling me to go back to my home country, I can't. It's not so easy. I did, however, call my family and told them everything, and they were surprisingly supportive, and we've talked every day since my original post, and I couldn't be happier about that. Thank goodness that this girl has good family. To everyone who left me horrible messages, I'm sorry that you are so full of hate and wish horrible things on people, but I will end up stronger than ever after this, so thank you. My husband has been nothing but supportive in my wanting to leave and start over, so all I can do is figure it out and take the advice of my family and my lawyer. Yes, I've been in contact with the lawyer, but I haven't hired her yet, as I'm waiting to get the money from my husband, who has volunteered to pay for it. Thanks again. Hope this update was sufficient for everyone. Thank goodness she's getting out of that situation, but I'm still skeptical. I think he's playing nice now, and that's oftentimes like an attempt to get the person back, because they're like, look, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm doing everything exactly the way I should be doing. You know, why are you hurting me, or some shit like that? And like the fact that her getting what she needs relies on him right now also makes me nervous. I don't like it. I don't like the way this sounds. On to the comments. Someone comments, "I don't want to be that guy, but I really doubt he wants to pay for a lawyer that will help you file for divorce and probably receive some settlement too. Be careful. Manipulative people act really nice when they think shit hits the fan, but just until they see this is real, after that the monster comes out. That is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying." Another person comments, "Just another poster warning you to not trust his supportive side right now. I've left an abusive relationship. Once he realizes he can't change your mind by being nice, he will try a different method. My ex spent years cycling between being super nice and super shitty. Yup. Don't let him pay for your lawyer. Please speak to some domestic abuse charities for advice and support. There are a lot of people on this thread that are worried for you. Please stay safe." Yes, please do. Someone else comments, "I'm really happy you made the decision to leave your husband and start life over again. This is going to be the first step in a journey that will be very beneficial for your life. Please watch out. Your husband may appear as supportive now, but this may change and he may become abusive and manipulative when he realizes you are really serious about leaving. You need to stay strong. Maintain your connection with your family. This is so important, and I'm so happy to hear you are reconnected with them. Consider looking into therapy to address the stress and overall challenging situation you are currently facing. It's good to cultivate resources to draw on during this time that you know will involve some struggle, but you are doing great, and I'm so proud of your strength. What a sweetheart." Another comment says, "Do not let your soon-to-be ex-husband choose your lawyer. Do not let him be a part of your meetings. Do not let him hold money over your head." Yes, 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 yes. Sorry for shouting, but it's important. If he's going to pay, get the money from him ASAP or consider other options. Good luck, OP. You deserve nothing but the best, and you will get there. Bro. Someone else comments, don't buy into the nice guy act now. He's only offering all of this to try to get you back. Things could go really bad if he realizes he doesn't have a chance. Someone else comments, I'm glad you're getting yourself together and trying to live a life that's healthy for you. This must all be very difficult, but I'm very proud that you chose your own mental health and safety over your relationship. I hope your future is bright and that you can be happy on your new path. Yup. So personally, she's getting there. She's getting there, right? But I hope that she can cut off any sort of like resources from him, like to the point where she can completely exist and doesn't need him to survive and thrive and exist. Like him being responsible in some way monetarily for her lawyer is kind of sketchy, and I kind of agree with other people. I think things will go sour if he's still like directly involved in some sort of way. These kind of people will try whatever they can, and the first step is usually nice because they're like, oh, I was being too cruel, so I need to love bomb them so that they know that like actually I'm the only love that you're ever gonna get, so come and get it. And if that doesn't work, then they get really manipulative and cruel and mean, and it can just get really nasty, and I hope she doesn't have to go through that. I also really think that this girl, if she isn't already in some sort of therapy, that she should be, both for her past trauma and her current trauma, because being in a relationship with somebody like that is difficult. And a common problem with people like this is they typically, I guess, unconsciously seek out more relationships that continue to like re-traumatize them, and they really only understand like this re-traumatization as love, so they really struggle in maintaining normal, happy, healthy relationships because they, without realizing it, will seek out behaviors that they're used to. So I hope a therapist can help her rebuild her emotional self, because during the time that she should have been kind of like getting to know herself as an adult, she has been with this guy who's just kind of cornered her back into her own trauma and like continuing to treat her like a young teenager or child or whatever. But it's time for her to grow up. It's time for her to live her life and do the things that she wants to do. So yeah, that's it with that story, and that's also all of the stories for today. If you enjoyed this, please give it a like. If you want some more, hit a subscribe. That'd be awesome. If you didn't like it, well, shit. If you have any suggestions for future topics, let me know. I'd be more than happy to give them a try. That is the end of today's video. If you do not care for my yapping, goodbye. I'll see you in the next one. But for those curious, let me give you a little update here at the end, since I am coming out of hiatus after a long time. Hi, hello. I'm sorry for my absence. Please forgive. I'll be slowly coming back, and I'm so thankful to those who have stuck around and for those who will join our spooky little family in the future. I will be trying to regularly put out videos again like I did back in 2020, while weaving in commissions due and catching up. I'm likely moving again in a few months, so after that's done and I'm settled, and if my commissions are all caught up, I may reopen them again. But I will likely not be doing VTuber models anymore. I'm so sorry. At least right now. I would probably only do chibis, bases, or itches, whatever you call them. Adopts or small things for a while until I can gain more steam. I want a quick turnaround time and good quality still. Eventually I will go back to doing the Ko-fi memberships, treating it like how Patreon works, and include things like tutorials, VTuber assets, or bases for you to draw over for practice, but again, this won't happen until I am fully settled and back in the swing of things. Also, let me take this opportunity to address some things that I saw while I was inactive or in hiatus, whatever have you. I've tried to read every comment and heart supportive or relevant ones, but outside of a video's first release, that becomes harder as comments crop up over time. Especially during my hiatus, I may not be able to respond to or heart them all, but I read and appreciate them, and I really appreciate everyone's time. I appreciate other perspectives too. Even if I don't agree or didn't have the time to respond, it means so much. The past 4 years have been a lot of pain, stumbling and falling, getting back up, falling again, being stupid, making stupid decisions, or just being wrong. or being stubborn or whatever have you, but I've also done a lot of healing and I've grown a lot. I've grown much stronger. You won't keep me down forever. I think I have a lot more ideas in the works and things I want to do. Please look forward to them. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, Spooky Buns. Bye!